What's up, you guys? Hope you all are doing well. Hope your week has been smooth so far. Yeah, for me, it was not a very good day, good week. I didn't trade much, and the trades that I took, I think I took 2 trades on Tuesday, which was my first day trading. And these I did manage to record them. You can find the shots in this YouTube channel, and also we've managed to post them on our Instagram page. I did also get some trades here and there, but I couldn't record them because I'm not a full-time trader. I still trade while I'm working, so sometimes I do set up my trades, and then by the time I noticed, I decided to check how the trades have gone, or I've decided to see what the markets are doing. Usually I'm already in the trades, whether it is in positive or if I'm already in a loss, and then I'll just have to find a way to manage my risk. But usually I don't like to post these trades because I don't want it to be seen as if I'm just posting the direction of the market. So unless otherwise I find it when it's about to trigger me in, usually I don't like to record them. But anyways, this video is not about that. We're here to see this week analysis and how the market has moved this week and how I will be viewing the market for this coming week. Again, this is just to give you all idea and also give me idea of what to expect this coming week. This is not set in stone that the market will do this on Monday. You know, sometimes you might find even during this week, I think my bias for some pairs did change by Tuesday, because for example AUD JPY, I did for me on Saturday I viewed it as it was going to continually going down, but as we saw, or as we will see today here, AUD JPY actually did go up a bit, even though in a corrective way, but it did still go up, and I did manage to get some buys in there. So this is just to give you guys an idea, and I'm also thinking of maybe making a midweek video to post an update of my analysis. But yeah, we'll see how that will go, because timing is also very I'm struggling to find time to do all these things plus managing work, so that's why it's not as easy. But yeah, today's week analysis is still on the same pairs. We'll still be doing AJ, we'll still be doing AU, we'll still be doing Euro USD, and we'll still be doing GBP JPY. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so looking at the AUD JPY on a daily time frame, last week I believe when I was doing the video, we had this bearish candle, and then this opened up on Monday, this was on Tuesday, this was on Wednesday, Thursday closed bearish, and then this was another candle again on Friday. So as you can see, we are still on this level, failing to close above it. So that means my overall bias on this pair is still to the downside. I still do believe that for me to consider taking long-term buys, I need to have this last leg to the downside. So let's just go to the 4 hours time frame, because on a 4 hours time frame, when the market did open on Monday, I did see some bullish momentum to the upside, and that's why I think on Tuesday I did take 2 trades. I took a first buy trade on AUD JPY, of which I did close with 26 pips. Let me just hide this. And then I took another buy on AUD USD. Yes, I did not unfortunately I did not take all the way to the upside, because for me, most of the time, if I do get 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, I usually close it. Maybe I should work on seeing how I can just follow it to make the maximum profit. But anyways, that's another video for some other time. But looking at this price action, like I said before, my bias has not changed. I'm still looking to short this pair, because again, if you look at this price action over here, this was a termination of wave B of this wave A, So again, even when the market was going up correctively, it went up to touch this level first time, it touched again the second time, and then we saw this retracement to the downside. So now I think for me this week, what I'll be looking for is for the market to give me one candle that will be able to close below these levels, and then hopefully if I do see a deep retracement, I will be taking a short. So what I am seeing at this pair as of now is, yes, this is wave A, wave B, and then now we're going to see the last leg of which is going to be wave C. Now whether that wave C will be a 5 waves move to the downside, that we'll have to see. If it will just be a 5 wave move to the downside, this is what I would prefer to see, honestly speaking, because we all know this is easier to trade compared to other patterns, but it can also be a triangle, it can also be a WXY. Hopefully that will not be the case, but yeah, I'll have to see this move to the downside and how what will be the count of this move to the downside. And then if I do get a correction, I will be putting my sell stops to sell it. So my general view of the pair of the AUD/JPY is still to the downside, but again, trading is I've learned up to now that trading is mostly reaction and it's not predictive. That's why I always say that it's important to see how the market opens on Monday. It is important sometimes, if you don't understand on Monday how the market is opening, wait until the market has closed on Monday and see what the market has done on Monday to understand how you will be trading it for the rest of that week. Because for me on Saturday, I thought that this market would continue to push downwards, but that was not the case. What I saw on Monday, I didn't understand it, so that's why I didn't trade on Monday. I had to wait it on Tuesday, and what I saw on Tuesday was the probability that the market will continue to move to the upside. That is when I did enter my bias to the upside. So still, the general bias of AUD/JPY is to see the market fall, but again, I'll have to wait and see what the market will do on Monday for me to understand or to have that confirmation to short the market. If I will not get the confirmation to short the market, I will not short it. I will have to wait and see what the market will do. Now looking at the AUD/USD on a daily time frame, we can see that I think when I was doing the analysis for last week, I was looking at this candle. Sorry. I was looking at this candle coming down. Now this was on Friday of the week before last week. Now this, when the week started, this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and this was on Friday. So my expectation from last week, I wanted to see this move to be finished, and then to see a correction, and then a move to the downside, because I strongly do believe that this corrective move is not finished until these two lines are tapped, because this is my 50% and this is my 61.8% fib level. So unless the retracement does touch those two levels, the move to the downside is still not completed. But when I started seeing this move to the upside, of course I had to reanalyze again the chart and see what the market has been doing. So again, my bias still remains. I'm still expecting these two levels to be tapped. So long term, I'm still very much bearish on the pair. But considering, understanding, sometimes we have to see what the market is doing and then try our best to understand what the market is doing and not just move along with what we think will happen. This is why I decided to recheck again the analysis and see what is the most probable direction of the market. So right now what I'm seeing is that this was wave A, of wave X. So now I'll be expecting this coming week, this move to continue to push to the downside, either to touch this level or this level down below, before we do one move to the upside, before we finish this leg to the downside. So this is what I'm expecting to see this week. And the reason why I'm expecting to see that, because if you zoom out again and see this whole corrective move, you can see that I've labeled this bigger move as a WXY. So if this is a WXY, then that means the move that is remaining is to the upside, of which is wave X, before we finish to the downside, of which is still pretty much valid. But now again, I just want to point this out, that for me, yes, I am expecting a move to the downside before one small move to the upside, probably on this level, before we finish the leg to the downside. Now this move to the downside, this will be my final move in this corrective wave. It will be my final move of this corrective wave before I start thinking on buying long term. But then again, an alternative count of this move would be that this continue to push us to the downside. But then again, if it comes and break here, this level, that means my count will be incorrect, and I'll have to reanalyze this whole move again. But as of now, this is my view of AUD USD. I'm expecting at the beginning of next week to see the market continue to push down to these levels before we go up again to touch these levels to finish our wave X, and then after that we'll do the bigger move to the downside to touch the 50 to 61% feed levels. So yeah, let me just zoom out so you guys can probably see my wave counts and maybe get an idea of what I'm talking about. So my general bias again on the pair has not changed. I'm still seeing and I'm still eyeing on this move to the downside. But right now, short term, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing one move to the downside before we make a push to the upside, and then we end with the last move to finish this corrective to the 51 or 61%. Now going down to the 4 hours time frame. Going down to the 4 hours time frame, what am I seeing in regards to this move to the upside? So what I'm seeing on this move to the upside is that I'm seeing that the market has already finished wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, of which this for me was wave A. And the reason why I am saying that it's only 3 waves, it's because this move to the upside, it looks like it's already losing momentum. And the only way to count this move is, if I want to count this as an impulsive, you can't count this. You can count this as a 1, 2. You can count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2 of wave 3, and then you're going to see an up move of wave 3 of 3, and then wave 4 of 3, and then wave 5 of 3. But right now, looking at how this move is moving upwardly, like the way I'm seeing this price action going up, I doubt that we'll be seeing. I doubt that this move is wave 3 or wave 3. So that's why my count is 1, 2, 3 wave A, and then this is 1, 2, 3 of wave A, and then this is 1, 2, 3 of wave B. So now we might see 5 waves move to the downside. 5 waves move to the downside to complete wave C of wave B correction before we start seeing this push to the upside. So yes, again my long-term bias is to the downside, but short-term I will be trying my best to see if I can get into this trade, into this move to the downside, and then move to the upside. So So these are the trades that I might be taking this week. But then again, I'll still have to see what Monday will do, how the market will open on Monday. If this move I'll be able to count 5 waves and then a retracement again around 50 to 61%, I will shut it down. I will shut it down in anticipating seeing this third move for third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave down. But if I don't see 5 waves to the downside and instead I see something else, I'll have to wait until I found my confirmation. So early beginning of this week, I might look to take these short-term shorts, and yeah, that's my view on AUD USD for this week. Now coming to the Euro USD day time frame, not much has changed in terms of my buy since last week, because I think on last week we were looking at this candle, and the idea that I had in my head was that I would see a final move down to this level before we see a reversal to the upside. Now I wanted to trade. Now I said last week that I would be waiting to see a reversal to the upside, and when we go down to the 4 hours time frame, we can see that the market did come all the way down and touch this level of which I drew last week. So the moment that it tapped this level, I started to see these weak rejections, and then the market did pull up to the upside, and this move was indeed impulsive. Now I did not trade this move. I did not take any of these buys, because for me, I can still sense that, especially because of the way that this market is coming down on Friday, that we might do this. We might go down we might go down below this level a bit before we do this move to the upside. So I did not take any buys here. But this week now, let me just take this out. Now coming back to this week, which line am I saying? Sorry. Now coming back to this week, what I am expecting to see is still, my bias is still to the upside. I'm still seeing USD continuing to move to the upside, and essentially where I might be taking my buys, it may be like my trade might look like something like this. Minimum most of the time for me is 1 to 3, but sometimes I don't mind taking 1 to 5. So yes, this is the possibility of how my trade might look like next week, this coming week. But also because I'm expecting, like the way I'm counting this as an A, B, C, finishing this wave 4, and expecting this to be wave 1, wave 2. And then we might see wave 3, wave 4, and then the last wave, which is wave 5 to the upside. So that's why for me, this idea works better than any other for now. But then again, I do like to observe how the market is opening on Monday, because again, this move looks pretty impulsive. But as long as it does not break this level, this idea of counting this as wave 1 is still pretty much valid. So I will still be looking to take buys. Essentially, if everything goes accordingly, this week I will be looking for buys on Euro USD to buy all the way to the upside. But yeah, let's see what Monday will bring, and if I will be able to see anything significantly different, I might make a video midweek, but I will not promise you that. But for now, coming again to GBP JPY from last week. This was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, so we had this candle to the downside, and let me just go down to the 4 hours time frame, because my idea and my overall view of the pair has not changed. I think on Monday we saw this candle, and what I did say on the video was that I was only looking for shorts, because I did strongly believe that this move to the upside was finished, of which it did make wave 5 of the larger wave 5 to the upside. So what I was looking for, or what I was expecting to see, is more move to the downside. Now if you look at the price action right here, you can already count wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So for me, what I'm seeing right now is a one impulsive move to the downside, of which is already finished. Now this move to the downside, it can either be wave A, or it can either be wave 1. If this is wave 1, that means this is wave 2. That means we have to expect wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 to the downside, of which it is also a viable idea if you actually consider how much of a down move GJ actually has, because this can just be a wave 1, so that means it's wave 2. You can have wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 of wave A, and then you can have the 3 wave corrections to the upside to make wave B, and then finally finish wave C to the downside. But let's just put that aside, because that is a really long term. But as for now, and as for this coming week, yes, for me, I already saw these 3 waves to the downside, and if we do put our Fibonacci levels over here, if we put our Fib levels, you can see that the market did already tap to 51 a lot, and then it passed and went to in the middle of 78 to 61.8, but it did again fade to close above this level. And then after that, you can see this move to the downside. Now this move to the downside, it does look pretty much it does look like it has a lot of momentum, that is carrying a lot of momentum to the downside. Now for me, this can be another or a new move to the downside, and of which for me, because I didn't trade this move to the downside. I didn't trade this move to the downside because I felt like from the beginning of last week we had already this big candle. So the only move that remains to the downside, it will only be a move to finish a wave. So I did not want to trade this. And then I saw this corrective move to the upside, of which again I didn't trade anything. So for me, I am more tempted to trade this move. So the moment that I see the finishing of this move and then a correction, I will be taking my sales around this level to ride it down to the downside. Now, I usually don't go to the lower time frames, especially for now. I usually go there when I want to take my trades. But for this sake, for this one pair, let me just go. When we go down to the 1 hour time frame, again, this is the reason why I'm waiting to take sales on this pair, because you can see this wave 1, wave 2. You can see that there's a wave 3, there's a wave 4, and now we're kind of like finishing this wave 5. Now when this wave is finished, I'll be expecting to see a retracement to the upside before I do take my orders or my sales to the downside. So my overall view of this pair in terms of what is my bias on GJ is I'm still pretty much bearish on the pair, and I think this move has the potential to go all the way down to these levels before we can see any reaction or any attempt to push to the upside. So yeah, let's see what the market will be doing on Monday, if it will give us that opportunity on Monday or as the week will progress. But as for now, I'm pretty much bearish, and I'll still pretty much be bearish during this week. All right, so that's the end of this week analysis video, and I just want to say a huge thank you for all of those who subscribed and left the comment on the last video. It did mean a lot to me, and it did motivate me to want to commit more in doing these videos. So I highly appreciate you all, and if you have found value also in this video, please don't forget to like and comment, and if you have not subscribed, I'll appreciate you if you do that also. Other than that, I wish you all the best in this coming week, and if you may need to contact or reach out for any reason, our social media accounts are actually on the video description, so please don't hesitate. Other than that, I wish you all the best, and yeah, take care.